Noah Tillis here at Tillis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We're going to be doing another breakdown for MMA latest. We're doing the Shinya Aoki Hammerlock. The submission's kind of in transition, a bit of a scramble after he gets the wrist control. So we're going to do our best. It's off the cage, or it's off the wall, controlling the wrist, going into like, I like to call it an LAPD. But we're going to go over that hammerlock. Let's get started. So my partner's back is against the wall. In this sense, they're fighting in dream, so it's actually against the rope. So you sit right here on the rope, just like this, buddy. So he had half guard, one was covering the thigh, and he was upright on the wall. He was striking, doing his best, but his opponent kept his hands on the mat. So basic wrist control and shoulder in the gut, I can keep my weight here. Now while I drive, I'm going to bring the hand right to my forehead. I'll continue to strike. As I'm striking and keeping my hips high, he's not able to lock a guard. So the basic thing about MMA is mixing striking and grappling together. If I can grapple and then strike, or I can strike to open up my grappling, makes one or two of it a little bit easier. So as I start to strike, he forgets that he has a shitty half guard, so I pop right over. Once I get here, I pop up, and I make my way right to mount. And from here, he's striking. What happens here, which I think was a bad move, I don't know how to say the Japanese fighter's name, but Shinya's opponent made a really bad mistake and belly down. As he was belly down, I thought the fight would have been over. Shinya controls the head, and you can come around here, he starts cranking on that hammer lock, which is really just a shoulder lock. As he starts cranking on it, he gets up, he rolls back to mount, he starts working again, and now, once he gets here, this is where kind of everything happens. A little bit. Once he goes back and he starts to go back to his back, that's when you can roll your back. That's when he had all that control. He was over the shoulder. Once he was over the shoulder, he's going to pull. The head was gone, and it was just both his arms against. So he had a high mount covering the shoulders, and all he does is crank on that arm. And as you can see in the video, it ends up breaking the shoulder. One more time. So all we go for is mount, the back to mount. But once you get back to mount with that wrist control, he steps over the head and takes the shoulder off. He has the takedown. He controls the wrist. He starts to move him to the wrist and slide that off the canvas. Right here to wrist control. He'll strike, pop up, and let him out. The key is holding that wrist. He could have done TKO. His partner or his opponent bellies down and gives up the back. Once he gives up the back, he starts ripping on this shoulder lock or the hammer lock. Right? He has good wrist control, pushing on the shoulder, or at one point he was cupping the head and raising up. Now, he stayed very high. Once his opponent went back to his back, he steps over. He steps over, loses the head, and from here all he does is pull up, and he's able to take that shoulder lock. The transitions are what slowed down the submission. He should have been able to catch that right when he bellied down. His partner did a good job of back and forth so he didn't take the arm. The key, I think, there for the actual breakdown is the wrist control. He could have secured it a little bit more if he put pressure on the shoulder, but he kept good wrist control, and when it opened up, he ended up snapping the opponent's arm. Thank you guys. Noah Tillis, Tillis Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA latest breakdowns.